Have you ever heard of a plane that took off, suddenly disappeared, and then reappeared 37 years later? What's even stranger is that none of the passengers seem to have aged at all. Welcome to Mark on Mystery. Today, we're diving into a mysterious case that has baffled aviation experts and sparked endless debates: the strange disappearance and reappearance of Pan Am Flight 914. Imagine yourself boarding a plane for a long journey, expecting to reach your destination in just a few hours. But instead, you find yourself somewhere completely unexpected. For example, a flight from America to England takes about 7 hours and 30 minutes. The longest commercial flight in the world from New York to Sydney takes around 19 hours. So how is it possible that a plane traveled for 37 years? The aircraft involved in this mysterious event was owned by Pan American Airlines, Pan Am Flight 914. The incident happened on July 2, 1955. Pan Am Flight 914 took off from New York, heading to Miami, Florida, carrying 57 passengers and 6 crew members. The flight was supposed to take just a few hours, but after about 3 hours in the air, something strange happened. The plane never arrived. It vanished from radar, leaving no trace. There were no distress signals, no emergency calls. It was as if the plane had completely disappeared into thin air. At the time, the weather was clear. Many people were enjoying a relaxing day at Miami's beaches. But the mystery deepened when there were no signs of an accident. A search team was deployed. They searched for days, but eventually authorities concluded that the aircraft had crashed, even though there was no evidence. No wreckage, no bodies, no survivors. Even the Coast Guard found nothing when they searched the waters. Authorities assumed that the plane had plunged into the ocean and sunk, leaving no trace. Despite the ongoing search efforts, the case was closed with the conclusion that the plane had crashed into the sea. After the decision was made, grieving families held symbolic funerals. The airline company compensated the victims' families, but the mystery lingered. What really happened? Time passed and the case was forgotten. Then suddenly, in 1992, 37 years after the mysterious disappearance, something unbelievable happened. Pan Am Flight 914 reappeared, but it didn't land in Miami. Instead, it showed up at Simon Bolivar International Airport in Caracas, Venezuela, South America. At the time, air traffic controller Juan de la Corte was on duty, monitoring the skies. He noticed something strange, a plane suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Airport staff were shocked to see an aircraft land without any prior radar detection. No flight had been scheduled to arrive at that time. This was highly unusual in aviation history. At first, Juan thought he had made a mistake or that there was a system error, but after double-checking everything, he confirmed that the radar was functioning perfectly. The airport team listened to the conversation between the pilot and co-pilot over the radio. The pilot, confused, asked where they had landed. He explained that they had taken off from New York, heading to Miami. As airport staff examined the plane, they noticed something bizarre. It looked old, as if it had been stuck in time. Unlike modern aircraft, it still had propellers instead of jet engines. Juan responded to the pilot, telling him that he was in Caracas, Venezuela. Then he asked the pilot, "What exactly happened?" The pilot, still puzzled, responded, "We were scheduled to arrive in Miami at 9:55 a.m. on July 2, 1955. He admitted that they had gone off course, drifting 1,800 kilometers off their planned route. They had struggled to get back on track. Juan was stunned. He told the pilot that the current date was May 21, 1992, not 1955. He then requested the pilot to disembark the passengers for questioning. Airport staff, still in shock, tried to remain calm. They wondered if this was a joke or an illusion, but the pilot refused. He wouldn't let the passengers leave. He also refused to let airport staff approach the aircraft. He only asked to be left alone so he could take off again. Security personnel had already been dispatched to assist the passengers, hoping to get more information, but the pilot ignored them and prepared for takeoff. Juan tried to stop him. He warned the pilot that it could be dangerous to take off again so soon, but the pilot said nothing. Then, as suddenly as it had appeared, the plane took off again and vanished into the clouds. Authorities were left speechless. They quickly checked records, and sure enough, Pan Am Flight 914 had been declared missing 37 years ago. The description of the aircraft matched perfectly. In disbelief, the Caracas airport sent a jet to follow the mysterious plane. Air traffic control coordinated with other airports to track it. Within a few hours, the plane arrived in Miami. And then something even more shocking happened. When the passengers stepped off the plane, they looked exactly the same as they had when they disappeared 37 years ago. None of them had aged. This story spread like wildfire across the world. Some believed it was linked to a time portal or even UFOs. Authorities questioned witnesses to gather more information, but the deeper they investigated, the more impossible it seemed. So what really happened to Pan Am Flight 914? Some believe it's just an urban legend, while others insist the event was real. Did Pan Am 914 travel through time? Or is there another explanation behind this mystery? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more mystery stories.